watch this whole video. I got on my fly hat. We're going through Lower Manhattan right now, and I'm about to be on a flight. But I thought it would be important to make this video, and while I'm riding through downtown New York, it could be cool to talk about. So first off, if you haven't heard, I think he immediately made it so one of his first executive orders so that there are only two genders. Now, I myself have identified as non-binary, and I also have identified as male before, and I'm not going to get into my personal thoughts on all of them. I might make another video about my personal thoughts on the whole gender, what all of that means and doesn't mean, and all of that, gender versus literally sex in a medical way, in a medical term. So paper, yeah. Also check out the fit, what I'm saying. But yeah, basically my thoughts on this. Going to Chinatown. My thoughts are that, Trump, first off, he is a populist. So whatever it seems like, everybody on his side wants, or what he can get the most support for, that is what he is going to do. That's what he's going to focus on. Whatever he can get the most support for, whatever seems like is going to get the most people on his side. So what's the issue with that? The issue is that, the next generation, the people who are the most popular voters right now, and who have who vote the most often, are older people, meaning people literally in their 70s and 80s. They vote at some of the highest rates in a lot of these areas, and then it kind of goes by age. Like, the younger you are, the less likely you are to vote. The older you are, the more likely you are to vote. And also, these folks tend to have more conservative views because, now at one point their views might have been seen as progressive, but now they are seen as conservative. And a lot of young people, it's like something like 65% of Gen Z identifies as queer. Don't quote me on that. I did not look at it, but I know it's a high number. I know it's like much higher than 30%. It's like a lot of people that identify like that. Women heavily identify that way, and or maybe 30-something%. I know a lot of different stats about this. So this one I'm kind of like just freestyling it. So definitely don't quote me on these specific stats. But the point is that Gen Z identifies as queer at a high rate. Somebody let me know the exact stats on that in a source in the comments. And the thing is, a lot of folks are, I'll admit, a lot of folks are kind of tired of seeing in movies or in TV shows and kid shows, they feel like it's being forced on them, right? This is the popular thing, or like there was the whole thing with the drag time story hour, that was the thing. So folks feel a way about that. But the thing is that there are some people that want their kids to be exposed to this and like this. Just like there's some people that want their kids to play with video games that have violence in them, or watch movies that have violence in them, or go to watch, different things, right? The same way how there's, and I'm not saying these things are the same at all. I'm just saying that these are things that some people wouldn't want their kids exposed to, right? So I'm not saying it's the same at all. I'm just saying that these are things that some people would not want their kids exposed to. Violent video games, for example, my parents wouldn't let me play violent video games. My parents wouldn't let me watch most TV shows. I talked to my cousin, and she was like, she remembers us coming over her house, and my dad not letting us watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And me being like, I was like like 9 or 10 or something, and didn't want us to watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Some people don't want their kids watching certain things. So I totally understand that, growing up in a house that was Christian and conservative, but also know that growing up around people that are, I know people that are non-binary, I know people that are trans and queer and gay that have kids and raise kids, and not all of them want their kids to be, go to drag time story hour, but some of them do. I know some people that are, completely straight. Both parents are straight, but they would love to expose their kids to drag time story hour. It's just another thing that they're exposed to. They go to different things. It's just another entertainment source for them. The point of this video was going to be about how when you try to prohibit something, it only makes people want to do it more. I saw, I'm in a couple like Facebook groups that are like, I guess somebody could describe them as like alt-right, or they're not. They're just kind of like, edgy, more so like edgy Facebook groups, right? And I saw somebody share a post. When sometimes they'll share a post in this group to like have folks laugh, react to it, or something, or do a bunch of comments that like kind of like disparage the person that makes this. I kind of do this to kind of stay aware of the trends and just see what is going on and what different people with different backgrounds think. And they shared a post, and it said, being trans right now is the most punk rock thing you could do, right? That's what they said in the post. And I was like, and the person who shared it said, everyone laugh, react to this post. And I go and I'm like, one, there's so many things wrong with this country. There's so many things that need to be fixed and that are issues and that we need to focus on. The transness is not what it is. We're going through the tunnel right now, so the light is different. Transness, in my opinion, is not one of those things. That's one of the most pressing issues. We're talking about something that is much less than even half of 1% of the population. Something that's much less than half of 1% of the population. Now, if we're talking about queerness, that's a lot more people. But something that's specifically that, right? And because this what this post was about. And what's my point? These folks are giving trans people and queer people so much power. They don't realize it. They don't realize by making this thing a big issue, you're giving them so much political power. You're giving us, because I identify as a non-binary person, so much. And a person of trans experience, you're giving us so much political power. And the pendulum on these things swing. And history does not go backward. Like people say history repeats itself, but they don't say it goes backward. And it is not going backward, it's going forward. And I don't think folks will look fondly at this in history. I also think like things have just changed. Like people's kids now are all types of gender representations and feeling all different types of ways because we have more access to data and knowledge. Folks are more open with experimenting and trying different things. I'll let y'all see the hair lip plateau. I pay for so I think what Trump is doing, he doesn't realize that we're going to have some of the biggest pride marches ever this summer. I think this first summer is going to be some massive pride marches, and the more they're not trying to fund them and the more issues they have with these companies, because the thing that they're forgetting is this: the reason people are like, oh, the gay agenda and this and that, whether you like it or not, these are facts. That gay people, gay couples often have money and are often well-to-do. On average, they usually have a higher household income than most straight couples, right? Definitely gay male couples, because it's just putting two men together. Then on top of that, they are consumers. Gay people are consumers and buy a lot of things, support a lot of companies, businesses, all types of things. Gay people are everywhere. And so companies still see that as a valuable market that they don't want to lose. They also see it as a growing market. These people know that this is a growing market. McKinsey and all these people that run the data on this stuff, they know that this is a growing market that they can't lose. That no matter who's in office, they can't lose it. They're not worried about that. And they don't want to be on the wrong side of history long term. And companies want to play both sides. They will still play the Trump side, and they will still play the conservative side, but they'll find a way to also play the other side too. So expect to see, definitely expect to see a lot of, I think, events, a lot of pushback. I think a lot of art and popular culture, because also inside of media, right? Hey, the lights back have paper, yeah. Inside of media, now we're in New Jersey. Inside of media, like, TV, movies, music, the majority of folks that do this stuff are gay. And if they're not publicly out and gay, a lot of them are privately or, have a lot of friends, and that's just how that industry is. Also, politics is also, there's a lot of, gay and queer people in politics. So expect to see that fight back, and that be a big, that is not going to go away. Like, I think, like, an executive order, and I think what's funny is you're watching folks celebrate and like be like, yay, an executive order doesn't make it go away. If anything, it makes it stronger. I think after the gay marriage thing, there was kind of like, okay, what rights are needed? Now, because there's specific things that seem like there's attacks on queer people or just other letters in the LGBT, it also feels like that comes to gay people, and this is a powerful segment of the country, a very small and powerful segment of the country. So expect to see very big pride marches and stuff around that. And you have to look deep, because when they do this stuff and it seems like they're doing stuff to ban stuff or outlaw it, they know that when they do things like this, especially around social things, it only makes it bigger. It creates protests, and it creates talks around it, and they know it plays well in the middle America, but they know that it gives them trouble in every major city, because there's a lot of people in the city that identify with that, or even if they're not personally gay, they still want to be around that type of culture. The world is changing. It is moving forward, and Trump knows this, because he's somebody who has supported gay marriage for a while in the past. He's supported gay marriage. Obviously, I don't think he has come out, and he's playing both sides too. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's also playing both sides. So it's going to be interesting. And recently, right? I don't know if you're watching this video, but this is at the beginning of the presidency, obviously, for the date. And I'm going to try to upload it today. Recently, it's been there was the thing where basically he said he's going to do a pause on all federal government assistance. So he's going to do a pause on all federal government assistance, right? And everybody was worried about all these different organizations that need money for all of these things, and it was something that, like, they clearly hadn't thought about how much the government supports so many things and so many projects that are essential to running the country. They said they were going to pause on all funds while they review everything. One, this sounds like an Elon Musk thing, something that was a brainchild of Elon Musk, because it was a terrible idea. And there was a lot of worry around folks, seniors who need their medicine, right? Disabled kids who need help getting to where they're supposed to go. There's a bunch of stuff with schools and folks who get SNAP benefits and housing benefits, and there was legitimate concerns, because when you say all government programs, and that a lot of folks don't read. They forget that this country doesn't read. They watch YouTube. Hey, what's up? Like and subscribe.